to shoot at least 70% three-point range on at least 20 three-point attempts in a five-game span. You know who else is on that list?
Caldwell spent 3 years in the WNBA, 2 in Atlanta, 1 in Indiana. Kelsey Mitchell knocking it down.
Want to get 2 or 3 closeouts each possession, and if you do that, you're probably going to have a team in rotation, and you're probably going to have some mismatches.
Clark, step back 3. She connects.
In this video, we're going to break down Caitlin Clark's mental game. We'll look at how she deals with being a high-risk, high-reward player, and how she's learning to balance creativity with smart play. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So did you click the subscribe button? Great. Thank you so much. Now, back to the video. You know what's crazy? Caitlin Clark is leading the league in both assists and turnovers. How's that even possible? It's like she's playing 4D chess while everyone else is still figuring out checkers. But sometimes her pieces just vanish into thin air. Let's talk about Clark's game for a second. She's not your average rookie, that's for sure. In her own words, she's a really creative person who loves to make exciting plays. And boy, does it show on the court. 1 minute she's throwing a no-look pass that leaves defenders spinning. The next she's attempting a move so wild it makes you wonder if she's trying to invent a new sport. But here's the thing. This high-risk, high-reward style, it's a double-edged sword. Take that game against the Minnesota Lynx. Clark had 7 turnovers. 7. That's enough to give any coach a heart attack. But then, just a few days later, against the Atlanta Dream, she dishes out 12 assists. 12! That's the kind of playmaking that changes games and wins championships. And it's not just the assists. In that same game against Atlanta, Clark dropped 26 points. But, and there's always a but with Clark, she also had 9 turnovers. It's like watching a fireworks show where some rockets soar and explode in beautiful colors, while others fizzle out before they even leave the ground. You want to know what's really wild? Despite all those turnovers, Clark is averaging 8.5 assists per game. That's not just good, that's league-leading good. It's the upside of her creative playstyle. The reason coaches are willing to put up with the occasional head-scratching moment.
You want to get 2 or 3 closeouts each possession, and if you do that, you're probably going to have a team in rotation, and you're probably going to have some mismatches.
Clark, step back 3. She connects. Mitchell comes up with the steal. Howard is back. It's one-on-one. Mitchell's going to pull a 3. How's that for confidence? And gets us started here in overtime.
Gets to get the ball across midcourt. That's it.
Inside, they feed Boston. It's Kubai on her. Boston backing and turning and gets deep position.
But here's the million-dollar question. How can Clark keep that creativity flowing while cutting down on those costly turnovers? It's like trying to tame a wild stallion without breaking its spirit. You want all that power and freedom, but you need just a little more control. The good news? Clark's starting to figure it out. She's growing more aware of when to push the envelope and when to play it safe. In her own words, I think it's finding a balance of when it's okay to do that during the games and when not. That's the kind of self-awareness that separates the good players from the great ones. Remember that 3-quarter court pass she threw against Minnesota? The one that caught the entire defense napping? That's the kind of play that makes highlight reels and wins games. But it's also the kind of play that could easily end up in the stands if the timing is just a little off. Clark's facing a huge challenge, but here's the twist. Her biggest opponent? It's not on the court, it's inside her own head. What if I told you the key to her success isn't her jump shot, but something you can't even see? You might think it's all about the flashy plays and jaw-dropping stats. But Caitlin Clark's got a secret weapon that's changing the game. It's her mental toughness, and it's evolving faster than her opponents can keep up. Picture this. The clock's ticking down, the pressure's on, and everyone's eyes are on Clark. But instead of cracking, she's cool as ice. That calm under fire? It's not just natural talent. It's the result of some serious mental work. Clark's teammate, Kate Martin, spilled the beans on this. She said she's put in a lot of work to the mental side of her game. That's not just teammate talk. It's the key to understanding how Clark's taking her game to the next level. And boy, is it paying off. The Indiana Fever just hit their highest win total since 2015. 19 victories! That's not just a number, that's a statement. And a big part of that success? Clark's ability to keep her cool when the heat is on. But here's where it gets really interesting. Clark's not just working on staying calm, she's tuning into how her emotions affect her whole team. Listen to this. My teammates ride my emotions whether I like it or not. That's something I've had to learn. That's Clark herself, talking about one of the biggest challenges she's faced. Think about it. When you're the star player, every fist pump, every frustrated look, every celebration, it all sends a message. Clark's figuring out how to use that power to lift her team up, not bring them down. It's like she's conducting an orchestra. Too much emotion and everything falls apart. Too little and the performance falls flat.
That's what 6'5" would do for you. I don't have that luxury. Nice give and go. Clark right at the cup, and she gets the bucket. And Lay comes up with it. Here's Clark in transition where she's dangerous. Leaves it behind for
Clark. Head up, as always. Just run with it and finish it. Head on a swivel.
Clark's challenge is finding that perfect balance. How does she fire up her team without letting her own flames burn too hot? This is where Clark's game is really evolving. She's not just a player anymore. She's becoming a leader. And not just any leader, the kind that can change the entire vibe of a team with just a look or a word. Imagine being on the court with Clark. You see her face, cool and focused. Suddenly, you feel more confident. You stand a little taller. You believe you can win, no matter the odds. That's the power of emotional intelligence in action. And here's the kicker. This isn't just about Clark, it's about the entire Fever team. As Clark gets better at managing her own emotions and inspiring her teammates, the whole team's performance could skyrocket. We're watching a star player transform into something even more valuable, a star leader. Clark's not just putting points on the board, she's elevating everyone around her. And in the WNBA, where team chemistry can make or break a season, that's gold. Clark's leadership is gold for her team, but here's the kicker. She's striking gold off the court too. We're talking about a deal that's shattering records and raising eyebrows. What does this mean for the future of women's sports? Let's talk numbers for a second. Caitlin Clark just signed a whopping $28 million contract with Nike. That's not just big, it's the biggest sponsorship deal ever for a women's basketball player. And get this, it includes her own signature shoe. That's not just a paycheck, it's a statement. But Clark's impact goes way beyond her bank account. She's turning women's basketball into must-see TV. Iowa's home games sold out months in advance. People can't get enough of her game, and it's showing in the stands.
Second, because she got 2 in the first quarter against Connecticut. Clark connects on a 3. Clark a 3. It is good. Second 3 of the quarter for Caitlin Clark.
We need to be disciplined. Just 2 personal fouls here through 3 quarters. Dejanay has taken a new step.
Clark lays an E, and the little hesitation works.
Now, here's where things get really interesting. Clark's rise to fame isn't just about basketball. It's sparking some serious conversations about race and double standards in sports. Some folks are comparing her to NBA legend Larry Bird, but others are pointing out how differently white and black athletes are treated. Aja Wilson, a big name in the WNBA, had something to say about this. She pointed out that Clark's marketability might be different from black athletes, saying, "I think it's a huge thing." It really is, because you can be top-notch at what you are as a black woman, but yet maybe that's something that people don't want to see. That's some heavy stuff to think about. But here's the thing, Clark's not just changing the game on the court, she's bringing in new fans left and right. Her rivalry with players like Angel Reese, it's creating storylines that people can't get enough of. It's like a sports drama unfolding in real time, and everyone wants to tune in.
One-on-one for Boston, spins away from the help. That's a big-time post move right there.
And trying to free up Mitchell, she can't get open. Boston takes it herself, fires it up, and it stays down. She's going to try her luck on the offensive end. Fagbenle ducks in and finishes.
How about that, back-to-back?
Fagbenle, handoff Clark, launches, and hits a 3! We are level!
And it's not just about the games themselves. Clark's preseason game was streamed while others weren't. That's got people talking about fairness in sports media coverage. Is everyone getting the same shot at the spotlight? So here's the $1 million question, or should we say $28 million question. How's Clark going to handle all this pressure? She's not just a player anymore. She's becoming the face of women's basketball. That's a lot for anyone to deal with, let alone a rookie. Think about it. Every move she makes on and off the court is under a microscope. One bad game, one misstep in an interview, and suddenly everyone's got an opinion. But if she can keep her cool and keep improving, the sky's the limit. And it's not just about Clark. Her success could open doors for other players, change how women's sports are marketed, maybe even shift the whole landscape of professional athletics. That's some game-changing potential right there.